Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another BRAP, episode 91. And a little under the weather today, so probably hearing my voice, but I'm going to go ahead and start. We're still waiting for our co-host, the co-host, Eric Jackson, and B Money 101. I think Mr. Megan is going to be joining us, and our special guest, Chicken Spaghetti, is running a little behind. He's going to join us shortly, too. We may have another special guest pop in as well, but um, wanted to talk about something real quick that finally, I think, getting some traction, getting some attention, at least on my Twitter feed. I've been tweeting out the last 2 weeks that, like, obviously you guys know that I'm very critical of fanboys, not a big fan of them, think they're fanboys are detrimental to the gaming industry. They promote anti-consumer behavior. Just not a big fan of them. Not a big fan of fanboys. So, what's up, EGA? What's up, Eric?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Your timing is impeccable. I'm about to go on my quick BRAP rant before we start on net neutrality, man.
That old chestnut.
That what?
You know how they say it, that old chestnut.
Yeah. So, Eric, I was just saying, you guys know I'm not a big fan of fanboys, and so what I've been tweeting is, hey guys, instead of focusing on things that are inconsequential, such as pieces of plastic, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of focusing on the console wars, why don't you use some of that energy to be productive? And I'm looking at you, certain podcasters who like to promote said console wars. Why don't you use your influence in a positive way instead of putting out FUD, instead of calling people liars because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about? Why don't you use some of that energy, that negative energy, towards something positive, like speaking out against net neutrality? Because, Eric, as you know, the FCC is going to be voting on December 14th to overturn net neutrality, which was put in place in 2015. Something that's been contested, though, over the existence of the life cycle of the internet. But it's coming up to vote again, and the new FCC chairman, who's appointed by our our genital grabbing president. I wasn't going to say the other word, Eric. He's appointed by him, and
at least not in the first hour.
No, at least not in the first hour. He is. I'm fired up by this net neutrality thing, by the way, because it not only affects consumers, it affects companies like Netflix, Hulu, Facebook.
Dude, it affects everyone. It affects Microsoft. It affects Apple. It affects anybody and everyone who needs like an open internet, like to function. I mean, and especially gamers in a world where we're starting to really adopt digital. We have need for day one patches that are pretty big. Hey, if you're out there with the beast, how much more bandwidth are you going to need to get updates and to get the 4K patches and everything?
Yeah, that is a excellent point, E. Mm-hmm. And we already know there's people out there who have Comcast. Comcast has data caps right now. Verizon does not. But you better bet that if this thing gets turned around, those ISP providers, they're the ones who are going to benefit from this because they're going to have control in terms of pricing. Of course, their argument is free market and we should be able to charge people what they use. That's never how the internet was designed, or the intent of the internet. It was supposed to be an open space, where ideas could be shared, where people could create content and share it. So the internet providers are essentially going to make out. And if you think about some of the ISPs right now, if you look at Comcast in particular, Comcast owns NBC. Comcast is a content owner. They have a lot of content. They could be a competitor to a Netflix or Hulu. And if you're not familiar with fast lanes are things that ISPs can implement or charge companies like Netflix to have access to, meaning that Netflix would have to pay Comcast X amount of dollars to ensure that they're in a fast lane where their content's being downloaded or presented to us, the end user, in a way that's presentable. And guess what's that's only going to cause Netflix to potentially pass that cost onto us.
Yeah, and like all they just said in the chat, more companies need to speak up, and that's absolutely true because I mean, they hold a lot more sway than say like us, which are like like we're like considered like the little fish. So these major companies need to speak up, and I did see Netflix. They tweeted earlier about it. They're definitely against it because like for a reason that you just said, and if people don't realize, what this can start doing is ISPs can start trying to sell you packages for the type of content that you use. Like if they notice that that you are a gamer, they can hit you with, okay, well, we have this particular package at this price, and you can access XYZ, but not ABC. If you want to access ABC, then you need to pay this other premium as well. And then it also kills startups. What it's doing again, essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's feeding the established and the wealthy and killing, the startup, a person who may have an idea and wants to get started.
You know what? Yeah, and that's a great point, E, because if you're a startup and you don't have the money to access, let's say, a fast lane, right, to get your content to users, and you need that bandwidth so that that whatever service you're providing works properly. Now you're on the outside looking in,
right?
And you're right, dude. You know what? I made a joke. I tweeted out the internet in the future is going to look like loot crates.
No, what we're going to look at is V for Vendetta. If you know that movie, the more this kind of goes, it's like I don't want to make this like the political hour, but it's very much becoming like these are other ways that things can be controlled and stranglehold. Media can be controlled. Narratives can be controlled.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, look at Comcast. Look who they own. Look who Verizon owns. Look at AT&T trying to buy Time Warner, CNN now.
Yeah, and look at how the Justice Department is now trying to block that. When have they ever tried to block anything? Not block anything, but block anything on that level. Regarding media conglomerates. Yeah. Don't you see right there? There's a conflict of interest, a power being used to block something where someone considers it fake news.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And honestly, I thought about this earlier, and I kind of laughed to myself. It's not a joke, but it could be taken as a joke. If we want to keep net neutrality, what we need is Obama to speak out, for net neutrality now, to like completely change course, speak out for it, completely agree with Trump, and then he'll want to keep it. Because he systematically wants to just kind of, take away anything Obama established. I mean, if you look at it putting that way, where they're opening the ban to be able to hunt and trophy elephants, you're dismantling that. It's like you're just trying to undo everything that you deem to be,
just for the sake of doing it.
Just for the sake of doing it. It's like, why? It's just insane. So yeah, people need to speak up. You need to call your congressman. You need to just get out there, be vocal, sign whatever petition. Just, because this isn't going to be good for anybody.
No. And the FCC chairman actually put out an op-ed on the Wall Street Journal today. And in that op-ed, he says that ISP infrastructure investments down 5%. And he attributes that to net neutrality. And that's not the case. No. There's ISPs and other industry experts that have said that, hey, that has nothing to do with net neutrality. It happens to do with the long years of updating infrastructure prior to this year, meaning that they've done so much infrastructure or building out of network that they didn't need to build out more because they've already done enough. Hence the decline in hence that 5% decline. So it's not, it's people needed to pay attention to this thing because, like you said, E, it's going to affect gamers because, we talked about those 4K texture packages that are like, what are they, like 30, 60, 80 gigs?
Yeah, how X is going to give it to you when you can't afford to pay your internet?
X is going to give you another bill that you're not going to be happy with.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, I could already see it right now. Oh, Comcast, we have I can see now the commercial. Comcast, we have the gaming tier for hardcore gamers. I can see that commercial, right? For an extra $100, you get unlimited data. It's just, and I can see it. They are going to market that because they want to make money, and that's not going to lead to an upgraded infrastructure. It's not going to happen,
right?
And so this is something people really look. Write your congressman, your representative. Write them. There has been 22 million comments about the potential removal of net neutrality, right? 22 million comments, of which the majority have opposed it. And the FCC is saying, "Oh no, this is for the consumer. We're doing this because it's pro-consumer, and government regulations are impacting consumers in a negative way." But out of these 22 million comments, they're all consumers are saying, "No, we're okay. We like the way it is today. Don't change it.
Don't change it in the regards of what they want to change it." But I want to shout out Jay Fonzarelli. What's up, Jay? Like Jay just made a great point. He said even in its current state, the ISPs services are already screwing people. And it's true. People are you're already getting gouged. So can you imagine if this is dismantled, what it's going to be?
No, and they're
already charged for garbage in most cases. In some cases, not every case, but a lot of people are being overcharged for garbage. People have caps already.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in areas where they don't have many options. Like if you're in a major metropolitan area, you may have more options than someone who's in a more rural area.
I'm in a major metropolitan area outside Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I only have two choices.
Right.
So, I mean, that's it, and they're saying, "Oh, well, this is going to create, competition." Competition from who? What other? I mean, seriously.
That competition has already been sold up, man. Like when you,
if
you're in what's going on, fellas, even if you're in a bigger area, that it all comes down to money at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about contracts and where these providers can are allowed to sell their product. So you could be in the biggest city in the world and have every option available, but depending on where you live, you may only have one or two options. So it all comes down to money at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever owns that contract for whatever period of time, they have the monopoly on your neighborhood. So you have no choice but to go with, one or two options.
Right. So that's where you hear, when companies like Google are trying to get into an area and do fiber, they don't have as much pushback in rural areas as they do in major metropolitan areas. So let me ask you this, where do you think Google stands on this whole thing with them trying to roll out and get into the game?
I mean, I'm sure, they are not for net neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get out there and be able to sell their product just like anybody else.
Right.
So, if you start putting shackles on what people can access and trying to charge them X amount of dollars to access Netflix or Hulu or any streaming service, you got to think we live in such a digital age now to where everything we do is digital. Like I Saha the Prince album just came out on the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Best Buy, Best Buy doesn't have it. I go to a couple of stores, nobody has the album because nobody carries CDs anymore. So it's all right, well, I gotta buy it digitally. So I end up buying it digitally, but so many other people just use Spotify or any other streaming music app.
Mm-hmm.
If they overturn this, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have to pay a premium price to access Spotify, and guess what? It's gonna cost you a lot more money because you won't be able to freely just stream music all day.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't have the Spotify package that your ISP wants to sell you,
right. Same with Netflix, same with Hulu, same with any other streaming service that's out there. People won't be on Twitter as much because guess what? You still got to pay your internet service provider.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that involves the internet, it's gonna have a huge impact on, and people really need to open up their eyes. Start paying attention to what's going on and do whatever they can to try to fight this off.
I said this earlier, B. A lot of people aren't aware, and I said this to Eric too. Fanboys, wake up! Stop fighting over shit that's inconsequential. Stop fighting over plastic boxes. This is something. If you want to fight about something, this is something you should fight about because it's going to impact gamers. It's going to impact your pocket. It's going to take away from you your ability to buy more games. And you don't want that. And a lot of people don't realize this. Companies like Verizon, they own, they're not just ISP providers or cell phone providers. They own they own content creators. They own media. Think about that for a second. The people that control how we get internet own media too. Think about what that means and what they can control. AT&T right now, and Eric, you said this earlier, they're looking to buy Time Warner, you know, with CNN. Comcast, we know Comcast owns NBC. Think about that. Think about that for a second. Think about the fact that a lot of people are cutting off cable TV to use things like Google Chromecast, the Amazon Fire Stick, PlayStation TV, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you got to believe these ISP providers are salivating at the chance to stick it to the competition. And that's what they're going to do. That's what this whole thing over the debate over fast lanes. It's funny because Comcast was out on Twitter tweeting, "Oh, we're for net neutrality." And I remember asking him and said, "Well, are you guys going to implement fast lanes?" No comment. No comment. So it's just, I've already called. I put in a word to my local representative. I encourage every one of you guys to do the same thing because this is serious. This is a serious thing. And look, we're taxpayers. We pay taxes. We vote. This is democracy. The FCC doesn't want to hear our voices.
Right.
We 22 million comments are out there against net neutrality. The FCC is not even, I don't even think it now hasn't even acknowledged that, or he's even brought those comments up publicly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying to sneak it in, man.
Yeah, I mean, we can't let this happen. I mean, this isn't the government. I'm not trying to get political here, but this government isn't just the government of the wealthy and the government of those who provide services and goods. This is the government for the people. We pay taxes too. We have rights too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do kind of notice Twitter's a little bit quiet with all those, those Trump supporters when it comes to this, those gamers who are Trump supporters.
Yeah. There's certain people that I would like to call out now, but I'm not going to.
No, you don't have to call anybody out. I'm just saying,
But there's certain people out there who are like, defending stuff and, are focused on the wrong things, and like, come on, man. There's bigger things to worry about, things that actually impact your life other than plastic boxes.
Right. And what's funny is I saw Kofi out there earlier. Shout out to Kofi. He wasn't even really sure about the whole net neutrality thing. He's in Canada, and I guess he was looking a little bit more into it because he was wondering if is Canada going to follow suit. He said no. Canada's actually going the reverse. They're getting stronger for in support of keeping it in place.
Canada doing a lot of right things up there, man.
Yeah.
Might have to move up there. Might have to move down the street from Kofi.
Yeah, well, matter of fact, if we're gonna move to Canada, we need to talk to Kofi about like a job or whatever, because apparently Kofi gets to play games all day on his job.
Yeah, exactly. Kofi's like, oh, I just picked up Breath of the Wild 2 days later. Oh, I just finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I was at work, I finished it. I finished. So yeah, I need to talk to Kofi about it. What kind of gig is that?
It's a nice gig, that's for sure. So, I want to give everyone a big shout out in the live chat right now. We get the usual suspects in there. Jay Fonzarelli. Jay, what's going on, man? I just saw you. It's like you just fell out of a loot box or something. Nels Coney, Wizland, Saltiest Gamer. Who else? All Day Digital's in the house. And if I didn't call you out,
Chief's in the building, man. Chief
Yeah.
Tommy. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
Black Metal Gamers in the house. What's going on, Black Metal? Thanks for joining us this evening. Appreciate it.
All good peeps right there. All good peeps.
Yep, Chris Cobra Elite. So big shout out to everyone in the live chat. So we're gonna so Chicken actually is working this evening. He's gonna be here shortly. He sent me a DM. He said he's gonna be cutting it close. But he is on his way, and Wizland says I'm only here for the giveaway. So Wizland, yeah, we'll talk about the giveaway in a little bit. When Chicken gets here, but we are kicking off the holidays officially today. Chicken Spaghetti is actually a great guy in the community, and he's picked this podcast and a few others to hand out some gifts that he's providing to a few lucky gamers, and so you've probably heard it a few times here on the show. We're going to be giving out a PlayStation 4 game console. So I think if you don't have a PlayStation 4, here's your opportunity to get one for free. And you can't beat free, people. You can't beat free. So Chicken's in live chat says, "Hey guys, unfortunately I'm still at work."
No worries.
No worries, Chicken.
It's all good, Chicken.
Yeah, no worries, man. I actually did provide the link. So the contest actually goes live tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you go to the description on the bottom, you'll see the link to sign up and participate in the contest. So it's going to go from, what's today's date? I don't have my phone.
Today's the 21st.
It's going to go to the 21st to the 18th. So, yeah, Nels Coney says 96 minutes to enter. That's right, Nels Coney. 96 minutes to enter. And then we're doing it through Gleam, those who are familiar with Gleam. So we are giving this to a subscriber of Basement Arcade. So make sure you are a subscriber, because that's how you're going to win the PlayStation 4.
Wiz is in there clowning us. Xbox stands.
No, break neutral stuff. I know you're secretly Xbox stands. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So, yeah. So, B Money, man. Well, I know you just kind of hopped in, man, but good to see you, man.
Yeah, man. I was running a little bit late trying to get these kids settled down, man. But I made it.
Yeah, that was the same spot I was in. I told Enrique, I said I might be a few minutes late. My wife had a meeting tonight, and my daughter was just like in rare form.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
she's like, I ain't trying to go to sleep.
That's every night, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I'm not tired. I'm not tired. And you put her on, gone. Like you rubbing your eyes.
You rub your eyes. So, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for Black Friday?
I'm ready, man.
Yeah,
definitely ready.
Yeah, as long as we don't have the that neutrality hitting, so I can still get on and make all my buys. You know what I'm saying? So, I think they'll try to get that joint in place today. So
I know, right?
People on their Black Friday deals.
They ain't playing no games, man. They trying to get that bread.
No. So yeah, what you guys eyeballing?
I'm definitely getting another TV, man. I just picked up the P607. And that TV is pretty solid.
What is it?
The TCL.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the model number. Okay.
And then so in between picking up a Sony 900E or going with the LG B7 OLED. So I'm trying to make a decision. I got to make it by Thursday because I'm buying it on Friday.
That's what's up.
If I can make a suggestion that that LG OLED is nice, it's probably I know CNET rated its highest TV last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the LG. Which one?
The B7.
The OLED. Yeah,
right.
It's good. Yeah, I saw GT Sport running on a Sony OLED. Oof. Oh my God. Talk about nice.
Oh yeah,
The game looks so nice, man.
the Sony OLED, the A1, man. That the thing is pretty beast. I can't go over $2,000 for a TV. At least not right now, man.
I hear
That
that,
that thing
man.
stays consistently at like $2,400. I haven't seen it lower, but
Yeah.
that boy is a beast.
Yeah. Now, B, tell so for some of our listeners who might be interested in a more budget for a 4K TV with HDR, give us your thoughts on the TCL.
I really like the TCL. You know, I've had it for probably about a week now, maybe a little bit over that. But it's pretty nice. You know what I mean? It's running a Roku OS on it. So it has the basic Roku setup. It has I think it has 3 or 4 HDMI inputs on there. I currently have the X and the Pro hooked up to it, which both consoles have HDR. So when you play any game that actually has HDR, it'll actually let you know that HDR is turned on in the game. It runs the games in 4K, 60 frames, of course. It's only a 60 hertz TV, which is all right, you know, for console gaming. But if you want to hook it up to a PC, you probably want to get something that has 120 hertz. Picture is amazing. You know what I mean? Solid picture. Has HDR, has Dolby Vision. So it runs HDR10 and Dolby Vision.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it has Dolby Audio as well. So I got the 55-inch, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. So if you're looking for one, you can get that TV for about $600. At that size, I think you can't really go wrong. It has a lot of the same features as any TV that you would pay $1,000 for. So save a couple bucks, and you know, put that towards games or accessories or whatever else you need to pick up for the holidays, and take a look at that TCL.
Yeah,
that's a TV that anyone in the know seems to like recommend if you're on you're trying to ball on a budget.
Yeah,
and like I was talking to King, from Lord's podcast, and he said,
big shout out to Lord King.
Absolutely, he said, it's got the HDR10. He said that's a must in any TV that you pick up for one. So I know there's probably people out there picking up $200-300 TVs and probably doesn't have HDR10 in it.
Damn, David Cassidy just died.
What?
Yeah, people probably don't know who he is. I'm sorry, I was so random, but go ahead.
Well, it comes in threes, man. They always say, right?
The 70s icon, man. 70s icon,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was part of the Partridge Family.
Yeah.
Damn, he was only 67.
I'm gonna say he wasn't that old, man.
Nah, he's only 67. Wasn't. Damn. Chief told me he's like, who? Question mark. Jay Fonzarelli's like Partridge Family. All right, I'm sorry, that was so random, man. Go ahead.
No, that's no problem. No problem. Shout out David Cassidy, man.
Yeah.
But no, that's the one I'm eyeballing to. To pick up. You kind of hold me over until I get like an OLED like down the road. So yeah, I heard nothing but good things about it.
Chief told me he wants us to do a moment of silence. All right, there's your moment of silence.
There you go.
Yeah, so it actually has good impact, good input lag too.
Input lag.
Yeah, I think it's like 13 milliseconds or something like that in game mode.
Yeah. Yep.
Another important thing. That's kind of crazy that they packed all that into a $600 set.
Yep.
Because they're finessing us, man. That's what it is, man.
Nah,
well, they're probably
because everybody else. If you actually, because I work in retail, I look at like a lot of margins and stuff like that because it's part of my job. But a lot of those TVs are marked up like super high. Like we are gonna actually sell TVs at the company that I work for like the first time for the holiday season, and they're actually Samsung TVs. So I had to do like all the buying for the TVs, and they give us the price that we're gonna buy them for, and then I see what the margin is or like how we're gonna mark them up. A lot of these TVs have like a 45 to 55 to 65% markup on most of the TVs. So like when they go on sale, the retailer is still making a decent chunk of change off of them.
But you gotta imagine though with TCL too, if they're already marked up, what did you say, 45 to 50%?
Yeah.
I mean, they could sell them cheap too, because they're probably making it up in volume.
Right. Right.
You know, with
And
all
that's
those
why they're
people
the third highest leader in the market with TVs right now.
now, doesn't
They just
LG
got some.
pretty much make all the panels? B?
Yeah, LG makes a lot of their panels.
Interesting. That's interesting.
So there you go. I mean, you know, I remember Vizio used to be in that range. Like they used to do that. Like they used to clean up where you know Samsung and
Samsung made a lot of video panels.
yeah, and then Vizio started getting into like that higher end price point.
Yep.
So you know you need like a TCL to come along, and like you said, you know they'll pick up you know people who are looking you know to be on a budget, you know, but looking for you know a quality set, and they'll clean up. You know, especially like the more the word gets out there on them.
Right. Right.
You know, so
Yeah,
that's dope that they're in there. You know,
total random thought, by the way. What's up with all these sexual harassers? Man, I'm telling you,
man. We talked about this before, man. You never know what these people are into.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people out here who's fucking creeps, man.
Yeah,
creeps. Like your man, like you never know what your man's is thinking. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like you got to start looking at people sideways because you just never know. Like it could be your man you grew up with your entire life, and then you know what I mean, something crazy like this comes out about him. You like, yo, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Like people are fucking creeps, man.
I don't
get it,
man. Yeah, and I think from Pixar now, and you know Charlie Rose from CBS.
Yeah, it seems like every other day, man, it's somebody else.
Yeah. Al Franken.
Yeah, the worst thing, they got a picture of him smiling, grabbing some girl's boobs while she's sleeping. I'm like, that's the worst. Like at that point, you should just resign, dude.
And so who do we get credit to kicking the door open? Bill Cosby.
This actually all started Bill Cosby.
Because I mean, everybody. I told my wife the other night, I'm kind of afraid, like some girl who I probably grabbed her booty in middle school about to come forward. You know, I said, I better never run for office or something.
I'm telling you, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I used to be at bars grabbing girls' booty sometime, man. Now I'm worried.
No, I mean, you know, dude, elementary school, middle school, there was an art. You get a little grab in, you know, you
right.
A little grab in, you know, that's sexual, that's assault.
It is. It absolutely is. You know, I mean, I mean, obviously we're tongue in cheek. We're not, you know, condoning it.
But I don't
want anyone to think because we're laughing about we're condoning it. We're not.
I'm just saying. The statute of limitations is crazy because some of these like charges are coming back from 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
You know, it's like, we're not laughing at it being lighthearted. It's insane, man. It's like every day Sylvester Stallone was thrown in there.
Was he really?
Yeah, I mean, his kind of flew under the radar a little bit more than some of the others. I think it's around the same time that Moore kind of jumped out there. You know, but it's crazy, man.
Yeah, you got George Bush, the first one. You know, people have come out and said, "Oh, you know, I took a picture with him and he squeezed my butt." But like everyone that's come out against him has said that.
Right.
That's like his MO. Yeah. You know, don't take a picture of him and squeeze your butt.
And can people stop doing this? Like, if you're a Republican and you're trying to defend like the Republican dudes, every time something comes up, it's like people like to throw Bill Clinton back in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you know, Bill probably grabbed a few booties. Bill got some head in the office, but Bill wasn't driving people behind the mall and trying to like rape them and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus, man. He might have, man. You never know.
Well, not yet anyway. We got to keep checking Twitter. There might be more stories. Right. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it's like every day though. It's like, you know, like there's some kind of celebrity or politician. Politicians don't surprise me. That shit been going on for a long time.
No, man. I think I told you that story, man. Radio
Bill
DJ,
O'Reilly.
Yeah, Bubba the Love Sponge was saying like, don't fall for these senators who stand on these platforms of indecency. Because some of them are like the biggest freaks in the world.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah,
those are the worst ones. Yeah, those are the ones that, like, you know, you find out that they were like a client of a big Hollywood madam, and they used to like to get tied up and spanked. You know?
No, more than that, man. Like, I don't even want to say what they, some of these dudes I've heard that they're into, because he had this dominatrix on his show once, and she said one of her biggest clients is like a high profile senator who runs on a platform of indecency. She said, if you knew the things that he has me do to him, she was like, talk about hypocrisy. You know?
I'm telling you, man, those politicians that get up there and get on their soapbox and get super religious, I don't trust any of them.
Bro, it's predicated on being a hater. It's salt. It's like, I'm gonna bust nuts, but I don't want you busting nuts. You know? That's all it is.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, hey, by the way, Wisland says Bill Cosby was the first, but I think Weinstein cracked it open.
Oh yeah, okay. I get Weinstein blew the doors open, man. And it was like, and then you got some Me Too's out there, like, throwing their little story out there. He's like, nah.
Somebody accused Russell Simmons.
Damn.
Yeah. Somebody got Uncle Rush.
Yeah.
Well, think about it too, man. It's like B said, you never know what your man's is up to, but then you throw power on top of that.
Yep.
You think you Mr. Untouchable, like you do whatever. So
I don't know, man. It's
super weird. You know what I mean? Because like we normally see this with politicians, and
right,
you might see it at some other big companies, but like when it started hitting gaming, it was just like, yo.
It's everywhere. Like, yeah, IGN.
Yeah.
IGN, Naughty Dog. Like it was just, it's crazy to me to think that, you know what I mean, a place where people are being like super creative and stuff like that stuff would go down like that. But I guess, I mean, it happens everywhere. Everywhere.
Well, I mean, look how Blue Gaff's whole world up.
Yeah. Gaff is no longer Gaff because of the allegations.
Yeah. What's crazy about that is that girl's story kind of got buried under the fact that, people were more or less like, good for them because they're scumbags anyway, made it about gaming. Right. Like, wait a minute, man, So, yeah, I don't know, man.
I'll tell you what, man. The male species is disappointing big time.
Yo, man.
We are not doing ourselves any favors at all. We are dirtballs.
Yep. Bro, Enrique, break it down like this, man. God knew we were going to be scumbags. So he put the most precious cargo we have in a little delicate sack as a kill switch to give women a fighting chance, man. It's just like,
I'll tell you what, man.
One shot to the nuts to shut your system down, but I mean, come on.
I'll tell you what, though, it's not good, man. I mean, the male species is not doing itself any favors. I'm telling you. It's like this, like with everything that's going on politically. I'm telling you, I'm counting the days so I see a commercial on TV for Brondo. If you guys know what that is, you ever see the movie Idiocracy?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah. Remember Brondo? Brondo was like the only drink they drank. It
replaced
water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just counting down the days so I see that commercial on TV.
Yeah.
Then I know shit's getting real. All right, so back to gaming. Let's see here. So Black Friday deals. GameStop's actually going to selling I don't think they're the only ones because I think we've seen Best Buy and a couple other retailers, but the Sony PlayStation 4 1 terabyte is going to be selling for $199.
Yeah,
and get a $50 gift card.
Yep.
Yeah,
and $50 gift card at GameStop.
I think they have the best. I mean, because everyone's doing like $199 across the board, but for that little extra, that cherry on top, I think they probably have the better deal. Only problem is you got to go deal with this scumbag asses.
Yep.
The Xbox One is going to be retailing for the 500 gigabyte Xbox One S is going to retail for $189. So, I tell you, man, these consoles are going to fly off their shelves. Actually, when I was at Target today, I don't know if you guys, I tweeted out a picture. If anyone's interested, by the way, and trying to score a Xbox One X Scorpio edition, check your local Target because I was at my local Target tonight, and they had 3 in stock. So, but yeah, I was kind of eavesdropping on this conversation this couple was having with the guy who was working like the gaming section or whatever at Target, and they were trying to buy that PlayStation 4. They're trying to get the deal, and they're like, "Oh, we don't, we're out of stock. We don't have any base PlayStation 4s in stock right now." and they're all bummed out. He's like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. Like, come Black Friday, we're gonna have hundreds of them in because you'll be good."
Yeah.
People getting ready. People are getting hyped up for Black Friday. I think you're going to see a lot of consoles moving. You're going to see people tweet pallets on Twitter. I know the drunk cat's looking forward to those pictures. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? With the good old the old pallet tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are always entertaining. Always entertaining.
They are, man.
You know.
Those are always nice for a good laugh, man.
Yeah. That people would actually waste their time. You know.
Actually, I did a video last Black Friday. I got a lot of likes for it.
I remember that video, man.
Yeah.
Nels Cody said that Reset Era denied him. I wonder why, man.
Really?
I'm surprised actually that he got denied.
Mm.
Yeah, Nels. Let me see what I can find out for you about that.
You guys been in there?
Yeah, I got in. Yeah,
I mean, I'm in there, but I haven't had time to really be on posting or reading a lot of stuff.
I've posted a couple things, man. I just haven't had time though. Like I'm between Twitter and like the Discord. You know, it's just I don't have time to go in there and keep up with all the stuff. But let's see what else. Kohl's has a Xbox One S 1 terabyte bundle with Halo for $329.
What's that be?
No, I think that's a solid deal, but I think you'll see a lot of people buy PSVR this holiday.
Oh, it's $199 right now, right?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people already picking it up already. When I marked it down earlier in the week, a lot of people been posting their pictures saying that they picked it up. I think you'll see a lot more people pick it up on Black Friday and through the weekend.
Low key, I'm tempted, but my focus is on the TV right now.
My mind,
right.
But low key, I'm tempted. I'm like, you know, I can't front. They're supporting it. They're actually putting decent games out for it. You know, fun. So, but it would be a hard sell right now. So, talking to the accountant in the other room.
My mind's telling me no.
Yeah. She cleared me for the TV, but she's like, "PS what?" Yeah. So,
my mind's telling me no.
You gotta pick those battles, right?
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to. Yeah, I'm about to make my TV upstairs have an accident. That's right.
How that's lemonade ended up in the back of this TV?
Hey, what is going on? What did do to the TV? Diesel, get your Niagara. Total random, by the way. PlayStation VR headset and camera bundle plus Gran Turismo Sports $299 at Dell. That's actually not a bad deal.
It's not, man.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Oculus Rift plus touch virtual reality system $349 at Newegg.
It's not a bad deal either.
Yeah. Xbox One
could be used on consoles though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You gotta have a PC.
Yeah.
Xbox One S 500 gigabyte Madden NFL 18 bundle extra controller $229 at Best Buy. That's not bad, man, with the extra controller.
Yeah.
And a game.
That's a nice little starter pack right there, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my first Black Friday buy was a translucent red PS4 controller.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Translucent. Man, I've been trying to find the steel gray controller. I think it came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been holding off because I got plenty of controllers. But now I'm trying to look for it. I can't find it anywhere. So I might just end up getting a silver one.
Mm.
Yeah. You know who's not having any Black Friday deals? Nintendo.
Man.
They never really do, man.
Yeah, you get like some of the fringe stuff, but not many of the major titles. And they'll probably have some kind of eShop, but their eShop is never as deeply discounted as like PS4 or Xbox.
No, I shouldn't say that because I think they're going to have. I think they do have some games that might be discounted for Black Friday.
Yeah, so like retailers have some games discounted.
Yeah, but Nintendo themselves, they don't really. I mean, we knew Switch wasn't going to get discounted. They had no reason to do that yet. Yeah. And even still, remember the Wii U was getting bodied, and they were like, "No, we ain't dropping the price."
Yeah,
they rolled that out to the end, man.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they weren't trying to drop the price for shit. They're like, "Oh." We don't
I was
care
like,
that we're
you
selling
might-
one unit every 6 months.
Yeah, I was like, you might move a couple units if you just kind of, nope.
Never really.
They're like, they're putting that Bruce Lee philosophy, a steady drop of water on a rock. Where is it? Like,
Jeez,
nah,
man.
player.
Now
Nobody's
that I think
buying it,
about
man.
I don't think any of the first party Nintendo games are on sale for Black Friday. I don't think there's one.
I think the only one I saw was Mario Rabbids.
I think Mario Rabbids is.
But that's a
the only
Ubisoft
one.
game.
Yeah,
Not even first party.
That's true. It just has Mario in it, but you're right. I didn't see Breath of the Wild. I didn't see Odyssey.
Yeah, ARMS isn't on sale or like Splatoon. Like none of their first party stuff is on sale.
Yeah.
People still gonna buy it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
Switch.
anything. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah. There's some good games though. $15, like Forza Horizon 3. Resident Evil 7 is gonna be $15.
That's good, man. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's actually not bad. Ghost Recon Wildlands for $25.
Yeah.
Wolfie, which just came out, the new Wolfie's gonna be $30. Evil Within 2, 30. NBA 2K18 is $30. Evil Within, did I say Evil Within Destiny 2? $30.
Man, Injustice 2 is gonna be $14 at GameStop. Again, you gotta deal with this scumbag asses, but for $14.
14. Yeah, for that $14, I'm going there.
Yeah.
But that'll be about the only reason. Get in there and get about.
You know what's funny? I feel like the company's scumbaggy, but I've always had pretty good relationships with the people that work there.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? So they kind of, I'll go in when I do go in, like, since we just kind of did the flip stuff, like I've been in there a lot more than I would ever be on a normal whatever. But yeah, the people in there are pretty cool, like, to talk to and stuff. Sometimes anyway.
Nels Coney has commented twice on Persona 5 that it's $29.99 at Best Buy.
I'm glad he did because I need to replace my Persona 5 because it ended up in the flip.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cop it again. So,
hey, I kept my case, man.
Oh yeah.
I got my steel book. Yeah. But I kept the steel case. Yeah, because that joint went, what was that be like $45, $50 in that flip?
Yeah, it was like $50.
No, I think I got like 55, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, yeah, I can part with this until Black Friday. I'm not gonna get to it anyway.
Yeah, man.
They got Kingdom Hearts collection for like 19, I think.
Yeah. By the way, guys,
GameStop kind of doing a little thing. They're doing a little something.
You gotta remember, you get discounts too for if you're I got the Super Elites whatever, Pro Awards,
like the Black Card or whatever they got.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like that, you get 20% off of used games.
You got like that Jay-Z GameStop card or whatever they call it.
Exactly. Yeah. You have your own private lounge. They take you to the back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, important to note too, Best Buy GCU does not stack on Black Friday.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing, man. They did the first couple of years, and people were cleaning up, and I think they
caught
wised up, man.
they got those numbers back. They're like, what the?
Wait a minute, this dude Brandon is cleaning up. What's going on?
Hey, but they made some of it back in that GameStop flip because I know we were cleaning them out, man.
Oh yeah.
By the way, guys, Target has Xbox Live and PlayStation Network subscription cards, $10 off.
Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of,
shout the Family Dollar right now, man. If you got a Family Dollar local to you, they actually have 15% off the currency card. So you save a little extra money if you're buying stuff on the Xbox or PlayStation Network. 15% off the cards, and then you got the discount on the games too. So a little added bonus out there.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. Actually, now's a good time to pick up controllers too. They're going for $39.99.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm probably going to pick up another PlayStation controller. I got 2 Xbox controllers, so I'm good for right now.
Yeah, most of the retailers are doing the $39. That's why I said I picked up the red translucent. But then I saw Tony today posted his blue, and I was kind of like, dang, man, maybe I should go back and get the blue instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know if the Tech Series controllers are on sale for Xbox?
Well, I don't know.
I think they are. I think they're part of the sale.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a look at that. I might pick up one of those Tech Series.
Yeah, those are nice. I was kind of hoping that they would. I know they did it last year. The Design Lab, they had like a pretty decent discount.
Yeah.
If you want to make one, because I kind of want to do that. So. But,
yep, and you know Sony, and then we always have Sony's popular Black Friday deals on the Sony PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Because I know last week there was a little bit of panic, and B came in. B came in cool, and then Sony dropped it today like Captain Save-A-Ho. You know,
crazy man, Captain Save-A-Ho.
I still got a feeling, man. They gonna hit us with a flash sale on Friday, man.
Probably because the initial sale, I kind of went there too, and then I started thinking, I was like, no, Sony, that would never be their only sale. Never be the only sale.
No, it would never. Yeah. Let's see, they're gonna have Assassin's Creed Origins for $41.99.
That's about on par with what Xbox is doing.
If you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, you can pick this game up now for $20 on Black Friday, the PSN or digitally.
Final Fantasy 15 is like $20.
Good game.
The Uncharted Collection is like $8.
Yeah, Valkyria Chronicles is like $13.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I still have that. You know what's a great deal right now on the Xbox Black Friday sale? Wolfenstein 2 with the season pass is $40.
Yeah,
that's a steal. Yeah.
Jay Fonzarelli says just shop at the dollar store. It's like Black Friday sales going on every day.
Yeah.
Jesus. Nels Cuddy's like generic Starburst, etc. He's like Nels Cuddy's like dollar store products are questionable quality.
Yeah, you can go in and get that off-brand flaming hot Cheetos. Your fingers are stained red for like 3 weeks.
Tell you what, man, don't buy condoms from dollar store. Don't do that. You'll find yourself in trouble.
Oh man.
Oh. Yeah. Sometimes, I'm always worried because like sometimes they have like like they have like name brand things, but it's like, what's wrong with it? Like, how do they get here?
Right.
You feel like Tide for $1. I'm like, something's wrong with this Tide.
Yeah, man. That's the ones that messed up at the factory, man. They gave him a good discount.
Yeah, man.
Okay, All Day Digital says it's just called Star Chews. Oh man. Star Chews.
It doesn't matter what flavor, it's the same wrapper.
There's no differentiating flavors.
It's like beige. What flavor is that?
What flavor is this?
Khaki.
You know what, man? I might pick up Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. $30.
Where? $30.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Oh, I'm sorry, on a PlayStation Store.
Man, they could do better than that, man. They try to play on that. They could do better on that price, man.
The show 2017 is $15.
Yeah, man. Griffey on the cover.
Let's see here. Destiny 2, $41.99. Again, these are digital, so they're probably not as good as the deals as physical.
Super Lucky's Tale is $20 at Best Buy.
Ooh, Skyrim Special Edition, $20.
Do Shannon Loftus a favor. Pick that up.
Oh, shit.
There you go. Yeah, Wolfenstein 2, $24. Hey, who has the best deal on Assassin's Creed Origins?
Target or retail. Retail will $35.
Charge Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, retail. Any retail store will have it for $35 Black Friday.
All right.
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Jay Fonzarelli's crazy. Then I buy the fake Skittles that says taste the colors on the pack.
They're called Skeets.
Oh, that's terrible. Nah, they can't be called that. No, you can't call them Skeets. It's not a good looking kid. I ate all the Skeets.
It's like Juki fruit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. Jooky instead of juicy. Juki fruit.
Yeah.
Juki.
Oh man.
What about twerks? You eat candy called twerks?
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's some good sales here on the.
I'm staying away from Skeets.
Yeah, I'm staying away from. Yeah, who said that?
Bro, J Fonzarelli.
Yeah. Stay away from Skeets. Anyone in the live chat, don't eat a candy called Skeets. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So there's some good sales here. On the PlayStation Store here for Black Friday. Uncharted Lost Legacy is $20. That's a good game. I actually just finally completed it.
Yeah,
you know
Lost
what?
Legacy was good, man.
I'm gonna have to buy the Witcher 3 season pass.
Oh, you don't have a season pass for Witcher 3?
No, I still haven't played Blood and Wine or the other one.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta dive into that, man.
Walmart has you beat on Assassin's Creed Origins, man. It's $30.
$30. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Hey, that $5 matters, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man.
Counts on Black Friday, man.
Walmart for me is like far away, so.
Oh, okay. But you probably do it online still.
You gotta use that online shopping, man.
A Persona 5 bundle, $15 on PlayStation Store. Wow.
Persona 5 is $15.
Yeah, the bundle, yeah.
Hmm.
Nier Automata is $35.
If you do Walmart Black Friday, you have to know how to Black Friday. Man, you got to show up with football pads on, a helmet.
No, it is very dangerous to go to the Walmart Black Friday sales.
Oh yeah,
they have bro. they do it very stupidly, in my opinion. They have all these like timed events where they have everybody stand behind ropes. And then when the time comes, they open up the rope, and then everybody just charges in there, trying to grab all their shit.
Like a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, man. It was probably about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, man. I told you guys I hate going to retailers on Black Friday, but we ended up going one time. We went to a Walmart, trying to go to the game section or whatever. So, the time comes, they open up the gate, and then everybody just rushes in there. And people are like getting stampeded on, and like everybody's like on the ground, like trying to pick up games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I ended up losing my keys in Walmart.
Oh shit!
I was so pissed. So
wow.
Yeah, I had to stay in there for about an hour and a half until finally somebody like turned my keys in because they just happened to pick them up off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But people were like just pushing and shoving, and my keys fell out of my hoodie, and I was so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Walmart is so dangerous when it comes to their Black Friday. And after that, I said, nope, I ain't never doing that shit again.
It gets physical.
Oh yeah.
There's been like actual I've seen like on the news like fights breaking out. I remember this one year somebody like just to try to clear the area to get to where they wanted to get, someone's like set off some pepper spray.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. People are savage.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Wolfenstein New Colossus is $30 on the PlayStation Store.
$24 at Best Buy.
Oh, shit. Yakuza Kiwami? I need to get that. $20.
Yeah, I actually just picked that up today.
Did you get the physical, the steelbook?
Yeah, I got it at Best Buy.
Oh, how much is a steelbook at Best Buy?
It's $20.
Oh shit! I gotta get the steelbook.
Yeah. Is that one stacking with GCU? Because they had a few things that dropped on Sunday that were still stacking. Like
stacks.
The Last Guardian was stacking.
Yeah, that's
like $15.
And I picked up Neo again because I ended up trading that in a flip, and that stacked too. I got Neo for $16.
Ooh, Black Friday, the deals, man. It becomes like crack.
Oh yeah.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Exactly. I'm sitting here right now with my notepad, taking down, jotting notes.
Yeah, me too, man.
Game plan. See, back in the day, man, like, as this whole 5 a.m. thing started ramping up, because you remember when the Black Friday thing really, really took off, the doorbuster stuff started like at 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Right.
Before they started doing the thing where they started like, Wednesday now.
Yeah, now it's like Thanksgiving like evening. Like it's like Doorbusters, 6 p.m.
Yeah, you know what? I don't co-sign on that, man. I don't think anybody. I mean, I know people get time and a half, and sometimes it's voluntary or whatever the case may be. But usually every retailer, if you work retail, you have to work the Friday at some point.
Right.
But I don't co-sign on the whole, 4:00 in the afternoon, someone has to leave their family for dinner to go set up for a bunch of assholes to get like a toaster for $2.
Right. It defeats the whole purpose of the holiday at that
exactly.
point. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like. So, and funny enough, wasn't it GameStop the one that said, they weren't going to open on Thursdays? They were going to. I think.
Remember.
Because I don't think they're open Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one year they did. And I think starting last year, I think they announced that they weren't making their employees work like Thursday night.
Yeah.
I don't know. That shit's crazy, man. I'm not, like I said, I'm not showing up to a store at 6:00 for doorbusters on Thanksgiving after, running into the dining room like the Ultimate Warrior,
right?
4 pounds of turkey, and then fall asleep,
But shout out to the companies. Shout out to the companies for starting to do it like online because that kind of helps out. Because I remember like back in the day, my cousin and I used to get 2 newspapers.
Yeah.
Sit like a tactical war room.
Yeah.
When we were gonna hit,
Real quick, Chris Krober Elite. I don't think you meant to say my whole family is going black shopping. Come out right, buddy.
In the 1840s, that would have made sense.
Yeah. Oh, Jay, what's going on, man?
Jay, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? You guys never shopped at the dollar store, man? We had a store out here, I swear. Everything in the store was an It's a brand. It said It's a. Hey, bro, it's a soda.
No, man.
Bro, it's everything, bro. It was crazy.
It's so
it'd be like it's a Wolfenstein 2,
It's a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but it's definitely not Wolfenstein 2. It's definitely not PlayStation. Completely different. But yeah, we had those stores all over California.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I guess a good brand would be like Swear It's or Promise It's. We swear it's Cheez-Its.
Yeah, it was always a little off, It would look just like a Snickers bar, but it didn't taste like a Snickers bar. It's crazy.
And you know what's funny? When you eat stuff like that, you're like the anticipation. You keep eating it in hopes of like it's gonna start tasting like a Snickers bar, and it never really does.
Yep. The only thing that was good was their fake Mountain Dew. It was all right.
It's a Mountain Dew.
No, it was like something like It's a Dew. They wouldn't say Mountain Dew. It's different.
It's a Dew.
It was different. But true story. Facts.
Like I'm eating this it's a Snicker, but the chocolate's coming off, but I can't seem to bite through the nougat.
Yeah, I gotta say that Wolfenstein deal for $40 is awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah, I picked it up, man, because I was like the season pass and the game. I was like, that's like the special edition or whatever. It's like usually $80 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I snatched that up. Play through it again on the X. Definitely like the lead for my game of the year right now.
Well, I picked up. I beat Wolfie on PlayStation 4. I picked up for the X, and I'm telling you guys, that super sampling shit is legit.
Yeah. Yep. So I was looking at it on there. I was like, on my 1080p, I was like, damn, this does look pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean, the textures are just. I mean, you could tell. I mean, I was shocked. I was like, whoa. And even Digital Foundry, when they talked about super sampling on the X for Wolfenstein 2, they were impressed.
Nah, they suspect now, man.
Oh yeah. Because you can't be sponsored at all, right?
No, right?
I'm taking that back money.
I don't understand that argument at all. I don't get it. Like,
hold on, what happened? What did I miss?
Well, they got a sponsored video the other day. Microsoft paid them to do best of HDR on the Xbox One X video. And so because they said it was sponsored by Microsoft, people were up in arms saying, well, you know what? Now Digital Foundry's bought and sold. And it's like, dude, they've been sponsored by GeForce, NVIDIA cards, everything else. Where was the outcry then? You know,
McDonald's.
God, what are people? I swear, man, fanboys just take it to the extreme sometimes. It's crazy.
It never fails, man.
And the thing I always laugh at is like 1 week they're Pony Foundry, then the next week they're Xbox Foundry. And then it's like, and then the same people that call them like Pony Foundry the first week, once they say something good, it's like, oh, they're legit. And then the next week, oh, fuck them.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't, it's not like they did like a side-by-side comparison, HDR from the X versus the Pro. They didn't do none of that. It was just basically a showcase of the Xbox One X. Why people were up in arms about it, I don't get. There's thousands of dislikes on that video. It's crazy.
Are you serious?
Wow, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
So ridiculous. That's what I was saying earlier, Jay. I'm like, you know, sometimes I just want to call fanboys like fuckers. You know, like, yeah, you little fuckers, wake up. Like, you know, we have this thing with net neutrality. Like, get mad about that. You know.
Yep.
Like, don't focus on this like dumb shit like that. Microsoft's or the Digital Foundry did a sponsored video by Microsoft.
Even when you have something as serious as what EA tried to do with their game with Battlefront 2, you still had some of these fanboys defending it. And that I don't understand. Like they don't I don't think they're really looking. I honestly don't think they looked at the differences on what they were trying to do opposed to what everybody else has been doing with microtransactions. Because it was completely out of left field. What they were doing was basically, look, I mean, we don't need to rehash this stuff, but when you have a system in your game that can be bought, a progression system, mind you, that is bad. You should not be able to pay for a progression system. And the star cards were part of the progression, and you can buy star cards. That was wrong.
It wasn't only that. It was also that you couldn't grind. If you didn't want to pay for the star cards, you couldn't grind like in a reasonable time frame to unlock these things. You know, they actually made it so where like the grind was like would basically just wear you the fuck out, where you'd be like,
do you remember?
I'm going to buy star cards.
Eric, Brandon, you guys were here a month ago when I was on the show. What did I say? When microtransactions make you grind too much, or they're there for those who want to jump and get through it quickly, or the game will just be too grindy to get through. I mentioned this on your podcast, and then all of a sudden, a month later, here comes Battlefront 2, and it's just that. That is what's going to happen if people don't put their foot down. That's why I'm glad they did. I mean, I don't see why anybody would defend what EA is doing. And I've seen some reaching comparisons to Uncharted 4, because Uncharted 4 has loot boxes in their multiplayer. But I'm like, who buys Uncharted 4 for the multiplayer in the first place? Who?
Right.
That is not why you buy that game.
You buy it for the single player. You stay a little bit for the multiplayer, then you move on. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's amazing what people can defend, man.
Yep.
Yeah, amazing what they'll defend. You know? But no, you did. You said that, and you know, we mentioned that too. It's like, you know, if there's like, you know, artificial grinding, if there's like content locked behind something that you almost, you know, you'll damn near never get to because, you know, you just get burned out, that's when you said people need to speak up.
Yep. Oh, by the way, that Digital Foundry video, 3,000 dislikes, 2,000 likes.
That's so ridiculous.
Like, go eat a sandwich.
Yeah, go outside,
your blood sugar's low. Yeah. Silly as shit.
Go get some sun or something. Jesus. Not what I really want to say. I want to say go get something else.
Be worried about silly stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
It really is, B. It really is. Chris Cobra Elite says he didn't have for the Game of the Year awards for McDonald's coffee, McCafe coffee.
McCafe.
I haven't seen any game awards associated with McDonald's.
Yeah, nobody was mad that Shitman was there.
Yeah,
that was kind of weird. That was kind of weird, to be honest with you guys.
They're gonna have similar sponsors this year, running crazy ads. So you know, it's to be expected.
And in sponsorships, you know, in some ways, don't like Microsoft, Sony kind of sponsor some of these like events or whatever. Like, you get sponsorship, you take money wherever you can get it.
That's right.
You know? So
yeah. If Microsoft wanted to pay me for something, hell, I'd do it. I don't care what it was. You know,
I would do a
my
sponsor
pants down for everybody. Why not?
My pants down, Jesus.
Why not? Pay me enough.
Oh my goodness! Would you do it for the Nintendo Switch?
Yeah. Nah, I'm not even a fan of the Switch either. So,
hey man, Ted DiBiase was right. Everyone has a price.
That's right, man.
Damn right.
Obviously, I just find it funny.
It's their soul, according to fanboys.
And that's what people are like, oh, you know, Digital Foundry's giving a fair shake. I'm like, it's like Digital Foundry's doing the same thing they've been doing since the last generation.
There's a reason why the Pro got accolades over the Xbox One S for so long, because it was in fact better, or the base model PS4. It's just facts. And that is why the X is doing better, because it's a better console. That's fact. Yes, people need to get over it.
That's what I've been trying to tell people that for like 4 years now. Like, hey guys, it's not bias. It's that Sony put out a better product. Now people are like, oh, the narratives are shifting now. Ha ha ha. No, Microsoft just put out a better product. Now, if Sony comes out and puts out the PS5 and it's a better product, you're going to see the same shift from Digital Foundry. Just the way it is. It's like that with any product. Any product.
And here's the thing. Anybody with common sense will say, okay, Microsoft put out the X. It's $100 more than the Pro. As it should be, it's a better machine than the Pro. Doesn't mean that the Pro is automatically garbage, or that anybody who's invested in one automatically has like an obsolete machine. The Xbox One X is it's a year older. I do too. It's a year older with better specs. It's supposed to perform better.
The Pro is garbage.
Yep, I like the Pro. The Pro is going to play all my Sony games beautifully in 2018. All those fantastic games that are coming out for Sony. I just want to keep saying how fantastic their lineup is in 2018 for Sony over and over. Just because it pisses them off that much more.
You're a neutral. Jay, I just want to say you're a neutral.
But Jay, we don't have any dates on those things.
Yeah, no dates.
There's no dates, Jay.
Yeah, but they don't have any dates on Crackdown 3 either. So
right, that's the thing I find.
That's what I say every time, man.
It's like, want to tell me when? What's the other one?
When Sea of Thieves coming out again?
Yeah, when the State of Decay drop.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Now shut up.
Yeah,
come on, guys. Sea of Thieves is coming out soon. Come on.
Look, I love my X. I think it's a fantastic console. It's honestly one of my favorite consoles that's ever come out, dude. It's that good to me. Like the things that it does is just amazing to me. But I do want to see some games that are exclusive to Microsoft. I want to see some come out in 2018, or hopefully at least they announce some big games at E3. And I'm not talking about these AA or these indie games that they did the last E3. I want to see some big games. I want to see at least one title that just blows my socks off, just something good.
Want to see some bangers.
Because when it comes to like Sea of Thieves, I really don't care about Sea of Thieves. People think I'm just hating on the game. Yes, I'm hating on it because I don't like that type of game. It's not for me. I understand if it's for some people, but even if it's for some, it's not for the mass market. That is not going to sell a console. That is not one of those games where you say, wow, I got to buy an X for Sea of Thieves. That's not that type of game. And these guys are like holding on to Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3 as if they were big bangers, and they're just not. They're not.
And I would wager, Jay, that some of those dudes are straight up full of crap.
Oh yeah, I yesterday I had words back and forth with Crap Gamer while they were doing their podcast. I was in the chat, and he had nerve to say that I was a liar, that I wasn't a neutral. And I'm like, how are you going to tell me? I own both consoles, and I play where the games are at. And yes, I am a power guy, so I played on the PlayStation 4 when it was more powerful. Now you got the X. I'm going to be playing most of my multiplats over there, provided they perform and look better. If they still perform and look better on the PS4 Pro, that's where I'll play the damn game. Right. I don't care about console. I don't have a loyalty to consoles like these guys do. So to call me a liar, it kind of pissed me off. So I was like, okay, I think you're lying. I said, I think you're lying about Sea of Thieves being a fantastic game this year, because he straight up said that he's excited for it. I don't believe him. I don't.
No. And it's not the type of game that I'm looking for. And I played the alpha, and I'm kind of like, okay, if you're hyped for that, that's fine. To me, it's not really moving me. It looks good. I mean, it's a pretty game, but I'm like, whatever. Is this game really going to be a game buster? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. And to back up on what Jay just said about the games that will be coming out for Sony, like the exclusives or whatever. Why do we get into this thing where people feel like it's negative or a bad thing to express interest in having a major AAA exclusive from your publisher like a Microsoft? And I've said this on the podcast. It's like everyone kind of makes these concessions and these excuses for Microsoft. Well, they say that the market is going this way, and it's it's games as a service, and that's where they're looking at the future. Okay, that's fine. Look at the future, but you make a ton of dough. You can take some risks. Everything doesn't have to be a 15 million, 20 million, 30 million, whatever, 90 million seller for you. Take some of those risks.
I understand, like Chris Cobra, he's saying calling Fonz a liar, blasphemy. That's funny, but here's the thing. I wish I would have screenshotted what he said to me, but he typed it out, and it was something like, well, you go back and forth between the PlayStation 4. Well, that's what a fucking neutral is, man. I go back and forth. It was ridiculous. And at that point, I had enough, and I left the podcast because it was just infuriating because they were just defending EA at the time too, and it was just like, I didn't want to hear this bullshit,
Right.
And I just know I will never understand being completely loyal to one console. I understand preference. I understand you have friends that may be on that console. I understand you may like the games that are on that console, but being completely loyal to it is just beyond me. If you're a real gamer, makes no sense to me. It just doesn't.
Or loyal to a corporation. Like, how stupid do you sound?
That doesn't make it. Yeah, you're not getting paid for your loyalty. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. And actually, this is a good segue because Phil Spencer was tweeting out today on Twitter, basically said that Microsoft's focused on and is developing new first-party titles now that he's got the house in order. Obviously he wanted to focus on the OS, getting the dashboard straightened out, getting Xbox Live better, and then the hardware piece. All that's all finished now. Now they're kind of just focusing on first party content. But and I'll go to you, B, because I think you were trying to chime in. I guess for me the question is, well, okay, we know they're working on Halo. We know they're working on other Gears. What exactly does he mean though by we're working on new first party content? Is it stuff that's similar to what we've seen with Ori and the Blind Forest, or is it a new AAA banger? What do you think, B?
I don't think there's going to be any major AAA bangers on the rise for Microsoft.
Oh, I knew you were going to say
that. That's just my opinion. Like Phil has talked about this, many times, and especially when it comes to like single player stuff and the games that he kind of called out when he was talking about that. Talking about they want to focus on games, similar to Thimbleweed Park and like Ori and the Blind Forest and things like that. So I think we'll see smaller titles like that, at least on a single player front. They talked a lot about games as a service, so I think we'll see a lot of that, a lot of multiplayer focused games. We see what they've done with Halo, with the big multiplayer focused action that they did with that game. They've turned Gears into an esport. I would assume that they will keep Forza going, and Forza Horizon 4 or something similar from that, from that camp will come out, and it'll be a lot similar to that as well. I just don't see them having anything big, new, like super exciting. I think they've tried to come out with some IPs, and I've talked about this before. I think some of the relationships that they had with those other companies that worked on their IPs just kind of fizzled out, and those relationships have kind of moved on. So they may have someone in their back pocket, a secret player coming out to help them put something out, but I don't see them changing gears and letting their big first party studios like the Coalition or 343 work on anything different other than the stable franchises that they have.
Yeah, that's as much as I was hoping to hear you say they might put out a banger, no, I think I pretty much agree with you. And it is good news though that they are getting Valkyria Chronicles 4 on the Xbox. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. It's one of those, I think obscure. I should say obscure, but I guess for the Xbox, it's probably more of an obscure title. But yeah, man, I guess like they say, time will tell. Nels Coney says that Phil's been saying this for years. E, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think, excuse me, my thoughts have been like well documented, like on the podcast. I don't buy into the narrative, and I know I've gone back and forth with people on Twitter, but I don't buy into the narrative of, games like a Horizon or a Zelda, while they're good, they're not sustainable or this and that. I always kind of felt like that was being stated because a narrative is trying to be sold, because you don't necessarily have the talent or the ability to create those types of games. So you're trying to play on what you kind of think most of your fan base is looking for. And if you want to put out a machine that's just about, playing better multiplats and kind of going after that Steam machine model or whatever, and kind of put that out there. But my thing is, the thing that kind of brought me into Xbox, all those years ago, were those iconic, franchises. I mean, like we always talked about, you saw Gears of War, or you saw Halo for the first time on the OG, and you're like, I got to play that. I have to have that. Or you saw Gears for the first time, it's like, I'm going to get a 360. I got to play that. Mm-hmm. And we don't really have that anymore. And I just kind of get pissed off at a lot of the fan base because they're so in defense, like Jay was just saying, in defense of a corporation. Is like you kind of push back on that, and all of a sudden it's like, it's like you're fighting Uncle Phil. Like everything Phil says is meant. And I'm like, dude, don't get it twisted. Phil seems like a dude I would have a beer with and talk gaming and talk industry about all day long. It's not about that. It's just, it's just about, I'm a consumer. There's a specific thing that I want from you. And if you're not giving me that, I want to be vocal about it. And if that's not where we're going to go together, then I may have to start thinking differently about how I use your product.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm a consumer first. I don't do corporation defense. So,
no, man, it's well said. I mean, I've always said it. We're gamers, but we're also consumers. And if you're not happy with something, you should speak out against it. I mean, it's just it amazes me how people don't think that way.
Yeah, and I stand by what I said before. That I wasn't sure if I was going to get an X. If I didn't do the GameStop flip, I may not have gotten it right away. Still, you're right, but I still stand by what I said. We joke about it's always wait until when it comes to like Xbox. Every time a show drops, right before we get to E3, the biggest parts of the fan base are like, oh, they're about to bring the fire, they're about to drop the rain on us. At this E3, and then E3 comes and goes, and you're like, Then it becomes wait till Gamescom, and then Gamescom comes, and it's like, okay, well, we have to wait till next E3. Legit, E3 2018, there needs to be a roadmap about what these first-party games are.
Yeah, they're not going to like that roadmap. Most of the games.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you, E, and I've been saying this the entire time. And I finally broke and bought the X, and got it like a couple days after it came out. Even though I said I wasn't going to, but you can't deny what the machine is and what it does to a lot of games that are out there. So, I end up picking it up, but my stand is still there. If I don't see a roadmap at E3 2018, then we're going in two different directions. We're at the fork in the road, in my opinion. And I don't care how great your third-party games play on your console. I got to make a decision as a consumer. Am I going to continue to support this if you're not going to support me? So we shall see. As they say, we got to wait until E3.
Yeah.
I got to say, Enrique, what Eric and Brandon had just said this past, 5 minutes has been nothing short of awesome. I mean, they hit it right on the head. It's exactly how I feel. These two guys have it nailed down perfectly. This is exactly the roadmap I think that Microsoft is laying out for everybody. I think that they are going towards that Steam model, and they're just not coming out and saying it. But if you read any interview they've done in the past 3 years, it's just it spells it out for everybody. Everything they talk about, they're against, certain single player type games. They want service based games. They want to be that more PC like device in your living room. It's just, it's going towards that route. And what they said is exactly right. And again, I've said it before, and I keep telling people this: we will see a big budget AAA game coming from them, first party, but it's going to be, very sporadic. We might get one every couple of years or so, but we're really not going to see like these big bangers, new IPs that come out. Like Sony just comes out with these IPs. It seems like the past few years you got like Horizon Zero Dawn. Now you've got Days Gone coming out. We've got these new IPs that look incredible. And with Horizon Zero Dawn, I mean, that was actually a good game. It was solid. It wasn't perfect in my opinion, but for a lot of people, they loved it. So, I mean, I'm in the minority that thinks that the story was kind of just okay, but I get it. It's a big new IP and it's done well for them. Microsoft, they might have that. They might come out with something, and they better come out with it this E3. They better at least announce it, because without that announcement of something like that, I think that this roadmap that we've been talking about here is going to be solidified. This is what's going to happen, guys. This is where they're headed. They do not want to be in direct competition with Sony in that regard when it comes to those new IPs and single player experiences. They do want to be that service-based game company. They do want to be that multiplayer company. And you already see it from some of these fanboys, because if you listen to any of them, they see it too, guys, but they just keep defending it, because some of them will even tell you, look, I'm more into multiplayer games. That's why I'm on Xbox. They say that because they know this is where the company is headed. They are headed towards service-based games. They are not going to really be putting out all kinds of AAA single-player games like Sony does.
Right.
And, contrary to what Phil says and what a lot of people believe, these single-player experiences still make money and are still incredible to many, many gamers out there, including myself. So,
yeah, we're seeing the proof in that, Jay. I mean, you look at like what Mario Odyssey's doing, and people. It's funny. I always laugh when I see the Twitter back and forth over Horizon Zero Dawn. People, like you said, there are people who love it, and some people may go to the far end of the spectrum and overhyping it, and then some people really underplay it. But the funny thing is that game is always in a conversation. There's either people trying to downplay it, or trying to say, like just for example, like the other day, you were just talking about. What Microsoft says about certain games or whatever the case may be, or whatever their roadmap may be. So you have Phil saying, we need to address the first party, and first party is important, and X, Y, Z. And then you remember, and you guys probably saw it, where people were up in arms about Ibarra liking a somewhat negative tweet that someone put out in regards to like a Horizon Zero Dawn and games of service or whatever. And I said, and people say, well, people are overreacting off of him liking that. I'm like, it's not really an overreaction. Because what you kind of, to me, in my opinion, you kind of have is Ibarra kind of liking what this dude is saying in regards to a Horizon Zero Dawn, where people play it, now it's on the shelf, games as a service is where it's at, versus what Phil's saying. And once again, you have messaging, a messaging issue. Phil's kind of trying to talk up the first party. Mike Ibarra's liking some asshole talking down, first party games. And it kind of flies in the face of like the whole, debate back and forth. And I've said this before too. When Nintendo and Sony come out and start to really talk about first party, single player games aren't really, sustainable and feasible. That's when I'll kind of start seeing and believing a little bit more where the shift is coming from.
Yeah, tell that to Nintendo.
Right. I'm not taking it from someone who maybe doesn't have that talent of these other companies to do that. And that's not a knock on Microsoft completely, but let's be honest, they don't have the studio power to do, like you just said, what Sony and Nintendo, what they do.
The one thing that was like really telling for me though at this past E3 is that Microsoft always ends their E3 on a big first party game that's going to come out for the next year. And this year they ended on Anthem. Like that's not even their game.
Right.
They used a third party game to end their show, which I don't know, it was just mind boggling to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to any other conference from the major three, they always end their conference on their big first party game.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Sony, go to Nintendo, even Nintendo. You know, with the their E3 presentation, it ended with a big first party game.
Mm-hmm.
It was just crazy to me that they ended their E3 show, which is the biggest stage of the year, with a third party game.
One thing I noticed that Microsoft has done, they've put themselves in a good position to always have that power narrative, because now they have the X, and in a couple of years we might see a PS5, but then a year after that you will see an Xbox 2. Mark my words, they're working on it now. I guarantee it.
Right.
So they always want to be on top with that power narrative. Again, if you just listen to these interviews with Phil Spencer and company, you'll hear them lay out all their plans, guys. And one of those interviews, he talked about how they weren't going to be the less powerful console ever again. They mean that. I'm telling you,
right.
They will always have that power narrative, which is a great thing to a small minority of gamers like myself. That means something to me, but that doesn't necessarily mean a lot to everybody else. There's millions of gamers out there who really don't care about power. And that is one of the narratives that these fanboys try to talk about that I don't think is true. I think that the whole power thing, yes, I see some Sony guys talk about power, and they've talked about it this generation, but I think that was just an extra dig at the other fanboy side. You know, I think that was just something they threw at them. But everybody knows that people that have jumped ship from Microsoft, originally it was because of the price, it was because of the unveiling, it was because of just the mess that they had come out with the Xbox One. That is the reason why people had jumped ship. It wasn't about power. Initially, it had nothing to do with power. Power just came along. Power was just found out later. And that was just, like I said, these fanboys throwing something else at the other side. That's all the power thing was. I believe that. I've went back and forth on this, but I've really gave it a lot of thought, and that is what I feel is going on. I think this whole power narrative is only for a small minority of gamers like myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I mean, the mass market, 90% of the consumers who buy consoles don't really care about power. They just care about playing games where their friends are playing games.
Yeah, does this console play Call of Duty? All
right.
friends play.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where that kind of stumble came in. I know people like to say revisionist history is the minute the Xbox One and the PS4 launched in 2013, there was a power narrative immediately. And I don't remember that being the case. I think that power narrative did come from the media because, look, the media is going to try to work with whatever they have to kind of get you to click and come and check things out, right? So what you initially had is two consoles that launched. One was $100 cheaper. And then all of a sudden you started getting this thing kind of happening where it was like, hey, this game isn't running as well over here, but this console costs $100 more.
Exactly.
And then that started kind of snowballing a little bit, and it kind of became a little bit more consistent again. It's like, again, we have both of these multiplayer games. It's running better over here, but not so much over here. But again, this one costs $100 more. And then it became about, some of that power is being reserved for the Kinect, and the Kinect was just like an albatross around the neck of this console. I
still feel like, you mentioned Kinect, Eric. I still feel like, remember the Xbox One wouldn't work without the Kinect. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like their messaging and just their approach to things is still sloppy, even today.
They still have a messaging problem, to this day.
Like the whole thing with Shannon Loftus, was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
Jan, we talked about this. My Brap rant.
Yeah.
That was just sloppy.
Of course. I mean, their marketing and messaging has been terrible this whole generation. That hasn't changed yet. And that's why I also said that Aaron Greenberg, that guy, he needs to go along with Shannon Loftus, in my opinion. I don't like either of them because of what they've not done so far this gen, which is deliver us good product and market it well. So I just think they both are just inept. So
they feel like, Jay. They feel like, if you're a boss, right? You have like two employees that have gotten maybe a little too comfortable.
Yes, 100%. Don't you always see that about those guys? They always look comfortable during interviews, like they're just sitting pretty, man, because they're obviously not putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that kills me. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh no, I was going to say this real quick. That's why I find it funny. Like on Twitter when they kind of go off as if, these are like family members. Oh, they talk to us on Twitter and they're so engaged. They kind of had to do that because they were playing from behind. Mm-hmm. So it's like, at this point, we got to try anything. And people are like, well, Sony, they're not as engaging. Sony's working. It's like, and I kind of look at it like, people are like, well, Shuhei doesn't really, engage, and Sean Layden they don't really engage. It's like different culture, different mindset, and then on top of that, it's like
now Sony just has that. What's his name? Jim Ryan.
Well, yeah, Jim was out there, but
Jim's out there, puts his foot in his mouth all the
time. But the difference is, notice Jim stopped talking.
Yeah, because Somebody shut him up, and they should have.
And that's exactly the same thing too. It's like you need to be on that same page. Like, dude, you're out there. Yeah. You can't go freelance on this.
No, you can't.
We have a concise message, and Enrique, we talked about this earlier before the show. I said, if I was Phil and Phil's in the big seat now, I'd be kind of looking at who's an up and comer, who's hungry, who understands how the market, who can see, to use a hockey metaphor, where the puck's going to be as opposed to where it's lying right now. Who understands our audience.
Look, change is not a bad thing. And those guys have been there for a long time. And, I brought up the point about messaging and them being like, I feel like they've been sloppy because look, I don't know. And maybe there were extra launch units left over, but, they came out and said that the Scorpio pre-orders were the most of any Xbox console, right?
No, they said something to the effect of the best-selling pre-order, and I was like, I don't even know what that means, but okay.
Throwing that nonsense out there to confuse everybody, man.
Sounds good. That's about it.
Yeah, it sounds good. Like, best-selling pre-order. I'm like, so somebody put $50 down. That is not a guaranteed sale.
Oh, what's up, all day? Let me see you sneak in here, man. It's like you jumped out of a loot box.
Oh, Dave, what's up, bro?
Out of a loot chest, man.
Yeah. Welcome, civilization.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, look, I'm not trying to pick on them. I just feel like I'm critical because I want to see them be successful because they have been in the past.
Facts.
Like if you look at go back and you look at, and this is the part like people don't understand. I think people give me a hard time. Oh, you always bring up the same stuff about Microsoft. We know their problems. We understand. You don't have to bring it up all the time. Well, no, I bring it up all the time because a lot of people don't know or weren't around at the beginning. I was a beta tester.
Enrique, they don't know Baby D.
No, they don't know Baby D.
They don't know Baby D. That's why they look.
I mean, honestly, do you guys remember, the original Xbox? The key element that they had, for me, even being 16 when I got the console, they lacked fear. They pumped out games. Even back then, we knew they were trash. Outlaw Golf, trash. Lynx, trash. Like Microsoft was decent. What's that game? Spec Ops. I mean, all these games they would just toss out 2-1 sticks.
You had JRPGs. You had JRPGs.
Jade Empire. Yeah, KOTOR. I mean, they weren't afraid because they had to prove themselves. I mean,
they were hungry. They were hungry.
Yes. They had their own. They even had to try to rival 98 Studios with their own football and basketball game. NFL Fever, NBA Inside Drive. They had their own line of sports games. Like they were going in, and you had to commend them for that. Yeah. Now I feel like they lost that passion, man.
Well, it started with the 360, man. They got comfortable during that era.
Yeah, you remember it.
Oh, yeah.
You got to remember the first few years of 360, it was still that hunger.
But do you remember 2010? I tell this story all the time. We have never been in a place or situation or just we never been in a place where we had to depend on Crackdown 3 as a big game for the year. Ever. Do you understand? Do you understand when Crackdown 2 came out? Same year that Mass Effect 2 came out, the same year BioShock 2 came out, like the same year Halo Reach came out. You had all these bangers coming out, even though they weren't, totally exclusive. But we didn't have to depend on Crackdown 2 for our banger of the year. You know what I mean?
Thank God, too.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But now Crackdown was the end all be all, and it got delayed. So I played Crackdown 3, bro, and yeah, let's go ahead and skip to the next topic. No, I'm just joking.
Hey, no, we saw that Comic-Con. I said it showed too much. When they got on that pause menu, I was like, hold up.
What was it? What was it after Comic-Con though? What was the show after that? It was
Gamescom.
Okay, Gamescom. All right, so I'd done a favor for Zaire. Shout out to Zaire. I'm actually cool with Zaire. he asked me to do BGST one time, and I said I'd never do BGST, but I did it for him, and I was there, and Crap Gamer was there, and Crap Gamer was just obviously I was pissing him off. I piss him off for some reason, I don't know why, but I get him angry, and he was doing a lot of yelling and shit, and I just asked him. I said, "What makes you so sure they're going to show any multiplayer of Crackdown 3 at Gamescom?" He's all, "It's going to be there. They said it's going to be there. That's why." And he's yelling at me about it, and I'm just like, "Hey, look, I don't think it's going to be there." And guess what? It wasn't there because they delayed it. So it's just one of those things where, I'm just so tired of hearing certain things coming from some guys about let's wait till this, wait till that. You know what? The moment of waiting has passed. Like, they need to start pumping out shit and or at least, go back on what they've said already. Because I know Phil Spencer doesn't like to show his hand, like show some of these games too early, he says. And some people say that Sony shows them too early. Bullshit. You know what? They get a lot of hype behind their games because of this. They could show them 3-4 times before they come out, at different game shows, and you're still pumped for the game. Why Xbox doesn't want to do that, I don't understand. Do it.
They have to at this point. And what's funny with that?
They're risk averse. I think that's the problem. They're risk averse right now. They don't want to take those risks, those financial risks. I don't think he has the carte blanche per se to take risks. I don't think they have that massive budget they used to have.
Everything needs to be in house. Look at what they've done since the console was released. They've stuck to what they know, and every other game has been done by a second or third party. Has seen mediocre success, and that's what they got. If they want games to be successful, they gotta come from in house.
But they showed 43 games. Damn it, they showed 43 games. Now they were all from ID Studios, but they were there. Damn it.
Or they're attaching their wagon to like someone else's shooting star, like in PUBG. That's
let's be honest. Half of those games nobody really wants to play anyway. Let's be honest. I mean, I watched a podcast where they were talking about that guitar music game for about a half an hour. I'm like, are you kidding me? That little dude.
Do me a favor, bro. Do me a favor.
What's up?
Name 5 of those games out of the 43 that they showed.
Flying guitar dude up in the air with music.
Right.
That's one of the name. There was one from the studios that gave us Two Brothers, the Prison Break thing.
That's 2. That's EA.
And,
keep going.
And that's all I got right now. Oh, Ori 2 looked great.
All right, that's 3.
Okay. Yeah, Ori 2 looks fantastic. Yeah, I'm down with Ori. I'm down with Ori.
But dude, that's all I got right now, bro. I'll get back to you on the rest. Sea of Trash. Everybody knows that one.
Oh my god.
This is no bashing of Microsoft, man. We just want them to do better, man. That's all.
Yes,
exactly. That's what I said. Like these new generation, like some of them people just picked up an Xbox One. This generation, you can't talk to like the old heads.
Nah, man.
Who remember those, those days of bangers, man? Because even like Seamus said, like, and Peter Moore's goal was like, yo, they killed my Dreamcast. Sony did. So he's like, I'm coming after them. I'm coming after Sony. We're going to do this thing. Seamus was like, we were just going after everything because no one believed that we could do it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of these guys don't have that historical perspective. They weren't beta testers, for Xbox Live. They weren't there.
I was a beta tester. I was a beta tester for Xbox Live back in the day. I remember.
Yeah.
I got the little disc in the mail, put that in, was online. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But
with that stupid fucking dongle that went to your controller.
Yeah.
But they they look, I always say this to people, like, look, they came up unproven. People in the industry laughed at Microsoft. Like Seamus said, I was on SDGC a couple weeks ago, and they had Seamus Blackley on John's podcast, Mr. Negatives. And Seamus was like, look, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. He's like, people laughed at us. He said, we would go see developers and like, Microsoft's going to do what? And they would laugh at us.
Mm-hmm.
No one thought it was possible. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, think about overcoming those odds, right? Going up against Sony, who at the time, and Nintendo, coming off their big success with the PlayStation. And at some point, they managed to land Ninja Gaiden as an exclusive. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
That was huge. And I think you guys are right. They got a little bit too comfortable.
You know what's crazy too with the OG Xbox? I remember it's a quick little story. Me and one of my good friends, he was like one of my neighbors, and I had both consoles, and he only had the Xbox, and I would let him borrow my PS2 with all my games and a couple memory cards, and he would let me borrow some games on the Xbox I didn't have, right? And I noticed that a lot of games would run better on the OG Xbox, like Def Jam Fight for New York and a couple other multiplats. It ran better, right? So when it got down to the final week of swapping systems again, he would call me first. I was like, oh fuck, what does he want? I was like, what's up, man? He was like, you think I could borrow the PS2 for a little bit longer? I was like, oh man, I need my console, bro. What are you doing? I was like, what's wrong? He's like, man, I just want to use it. All right, go ahead, bro. So I'm just saying, like, even though Microsoft was more powerful, but even back then with the hard drive and ripping your CDs and internal memory, all that, I was still playing my PS2 more. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, power's cool, man. But you just gotta have the software, man. Period.
I don't know how people like think that's such a negative to say. Because I actually saw somebody tweet out. I think I shared this with B and Enrique. I was laughing my ass off because they said power has always determined the generations. It's never been about the software. And I was like,
hey, one word, Dreamcast. What about that?
I was like, what?
Where's he getting that from, bro?
I don't know, man.
These people are new to game. I'm telling you, they're new. They don't have that historical perspective that we do. I mean, power is never, except for the PS4, is the first console that was the most powerful.
Yeah, but that's not what drove the sales for the PS4. Hey, we all know what drove the sales.
Hey, Fonz, let me ask you a question. What happened to Disco? It died, right?
Bro. Why are you asking me? Because I'm the oldest here? Bro,
hey, I'm just saying. That's your era. I'm just saying. It died, right?
Oh, bro. Bro. It might have been hair bands in my era, bro. I was in the fucking early 80s, bro.
I'm just saying. Disco only didn't last that long, bro. It died. So Dreamcast, it died, and it was the most powerful at one point. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Dreamcast is beautiful, man.
Oh, I love that console, man.
Dreamcast is my favorite all-time console.
Dreamcast was like, that was a talk about game changer. And you got that, you almost had like that soul of the Dreamcast that carried on into the Xbox.
Yeah.
You kind of felt like it was a successor, almost.
Almost, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
The controller design was almost the same.
Yeah. And that was just, it was just magical. You think, because it was like a perfect storm of the innovation and the software. Like you said, the first console with a hard drive like that. You could rip music to it. Remember how people were going off about the Ethernet port, like because everybody had dial-up still,
right?
But it was another scenario of them seeing where the puck was going as opposed to where it was lying. And we all kind of went along, but it pushed things forward at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I was feeding so bad to play online for the first time. I begged my mom over and over again to get me, and she finally got it. I had my Xbox in the middle of the floor with a 3-inch Ethernet cable, bro. Xbox was leaning out the entertainment center, bro. You know what I mean? It was half on, half off. I was so desperate because it was a brand new experience. You know what I mean?
Bro. I remember hanging out with my boy. We had cell phones at this point. Hanging out with my boy, getting on Xbox Live to play Halo 2 for the first time, and being able to talk over live and be giddy like schoolgirls. So like, wait a minute, I just talked to the dude on the phone. Talking to him over the console. It was like, what's up, dog? I hear you, dog. What's up?
Man, you better stop using that voice changer, man. Shit.
The voice change. I remember that, man. I remember that.
You got a robot.
Yep.
Yeah, you can sound like a little kid or a guy with a deep ass voice. Sound like B Shadows for a day. Yeah.
Dudes don't remember that, man. You're in this new era where your gamer score is your badge of honor.
I remember an era on Xbox Live where nobody was talking shit to each other at the beginning. On when we were testing that out, everybody was just so happy to talk to somebody from another time zone and shit. We're like, "Hey, where you from? Oh man, let's game." It was crazy back then.
Friendships built.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before I even had a dope game to play on Xbox Live, I was playing this game called 13. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was like
I
a
remember
cell.
13.
It
I
was like
remember
a
that game.
yeah, it's like a cell shaded first person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just waiting to hear somebody's voice, bro. Me not knowing the game wasn't popular, so there's only like me and like 4 other people in the lobby. But I was just so happy, like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? You know,
Yeah.
so happy, right? Not knowing it's not a popular game. That's why I was an abundance of people.
And that's another thing too. The lobbies, man. The lobbies back then were dope, man. And you'd be in there, and sometimes you get some guy from Australia or some people from Japan talking in there. You're like, what the fuck? You know, couldn't understand them.
Dude, I remember when Street Fighter came out on the OG Xbox, and it was on Xbox Live. You play against people in Japan, they wouldn't talk to you, but they kick your ass.
Yeah, man.
dude.
Hey, did PC have game chat at that time?
Yeah, it did at that time.
Yeah,
Okay.
they used,
was it like was it a third party or?
third party.
It was their
Yeah.
Oh,
part.
okay.
Yeah, they used damn, I forgot the little thing. You know that little app with the little flower?
I don't
What was that
remember
called back in the day?
I don't remember.
Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot what it was. But anyway, yeah, it was third party.
B, what were you gonna say, man?
No, I was just talking about how crazy the lobbies used to be, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricky, you ever want to get bodied? Play Splatoon with people from Japan.
Oh yeah.
Nope, won't do it.
Play Mario Kart with people from Japan, man. Losing first place the entire race. they already done lapped you as soon as the race started.
Yeah,
man.
you get bodied.
What the hell?
Can't talk to them, but get bodied.
Yeah,
Man,
that was
Nintendo, it's crazy, bro. I logged into my Switch today. I was playing a little bit of Mario, and it's kind of crazy how I went to my friends list. I was like, "This is cool. These little squares of these knees," and I can't say nothing to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't do nothing. I can't say hello. I can't send a poke, a wink, nothing. I'm like, what's the point of this?
Yeah, but they gotta figure that out, man. It's just
Nintendo being behind the ball.
Archaic at that point.
And I don't understand why it should be a standard, man. If we can get on our cell phones right now, if you get an iPhone, we can play a game in between text messages. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Nintendo. No excuse, man. Just get with the times, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've said that for years though. Nintendo's out of touch, man. They really are.
They march to the beat of their own drum. They always have.
I mean, they
probably
make good games, solid games, but when it comes to their systems and stuff, they're just out of touch, man, with the times.
I said for them, they should have just like cherry picked the best of the best from like Microsoft, offered them a ton of dough.
Do you guys think they don't care or they don't know?
I don't think they care. I think they do things that complement their first party titles.
Yeah.
Like that's their approach. Like, you know what? We're going to design a console that highlights or gives the kind of experiences we want gamers to have playing our first party stuff.
Here's the thing I don't like about Nintendo. Lately, my son, he's been asking for certain games for his 3DS, and I've looked them up, and now they say only for new 3DS. So now they got these new 3DSs and new games that aren't compatible with the 3DSs that came out just a couple of years ago.
It's gonna happen on Switch too.
No, I think they're compatible. I think they lack features.
It says for new 3DS on the cover. So I don't know.
The only thing they really added was I think the control stick at the top.
Yeah, and it's got like a little bit more power.
It's like a little nub. Yeah, a little bit more power. It's kind of like the expansion pack for the 64.
Well, still, you could be playing at a disadvantage. You could be playing the game sluggish, and it might be forcing you to buy a new 3DS. And I don't like that kind of practice. That's the kind of thing that Apple does with iPhones. So
yeah, I just think they really need to just hang it up, man. I mean, you already got the Switch. 2 portable machines in your house is kind of weird, man.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I have a 3DS, I have a Switch. My daughter plays with my 3DS more than I do now. You know, and like I know Samus Returns came out, and I really want to play that, but it's like I really want that on the Switch.
Yeah,
as opposed to the 3DS.
Yeah.
You know? So
they should have discontinued that 3DS and just went with the Switch model. I mean,
I think it's still making dough because I know my nephew wants one.
3DS is still selling well.
Yeah, they're still making money off it.
Yeah.
Once they get comfortable with the Switch, though, it gets to a solid spot.
How much are 3DSs though?
$199 now?
God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 3DS?
Yeah.
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 I think GameStop has it for Black Friday for like
That's crazy.
$140 or something like that.
You know, it's
Yeah,
crazy,
Robbery.
bro. You know, how much is Batman the season pass? The season 1.
I have no idea.
Like
the
25
game.
Yeah, I think it's $25.
Okay, tell me why the Switch is 40.
That's
Yeah,
that cartridge, that Switch tax.
You gotta pay that tax before you cross the toe, man.
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That's crazy. Like I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. I kind of figured it was gonna be that too when they said it was gonna be like, cartridge software.
Oh, because the
Like,
cartridges are more money. They cost more money.
Yeah,
I get that, but like I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't pick like LA Noire on the Switch over PS4, Xbox, because it's like, what is it, like $10 more?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're somebody that travels a lot, maybe you might that might be something you look into. But for me, like I have the Switch, but I would pick up something like LA Noire, like on my PS4, my X or something.
Yeah, no, that might make sense. I mean, that's that might make some sense, but I don't know. I'm gonna be broke this holiday. That's all I know. All these damn games. Yeah, real quick, I just want to make one more point about Microsoft. And again, people, we're not hating on them. I'm assuming a lot of us just want to see them do well.
Yep.
Get back to that point where they were years ago.
Rick, I told you this already, man. Stop apologizing to these fools, man. If you get bent out of shape by what we're saying, then you're part of the problem.
That's fact.
It's funny, man. Like some guy called me a fake neutral the other day. He's like, "You're a fake neutral. I exposed you." Yes. I'm like, "Oh, that's the highlight of your day." Okay. I'm sitting there like,
fake. You're so fake that you bought an Xbox One X.
Exactly. And wait, Jay,
and praising it.
Jay, I bought one, and I don't even have a 4K TV.
Yeah, and you've been telling me so many times, "Hey, the games play great on this thing. They look great." And I'm like,
Super Sampling's legit.
Mm-hmm. Fake neutral.
Yeah, but you're a fake neutral. Okay, you're okay. All right.
That's the funny thing. It's like you gotta duck and cover from everything. You either get called a neutral or you get called a fake neutral. Like,
how are you supposed to prove that you're a real neutral, man?
I've been called an X-Bot. I've been called a pony, fake neutral.
I don't know. When you're a neutral, you shouldn't even be called a neutral. I mean, you're just a gamer. That's it.
I said, you mean a gamer? I'm a gamer? Okay.
That's what I said. I told the guys, like, I'm a normal person. Doesn't get, like, upset over plastic boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm normal. You're not.
It's just funny to me, man. It's like, I can't imagine. I said, I want these guys' lives because it's like, obviously you don't have enough problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
it's like a fucking law to like multiple consoles. I don't get it.
It's like your life must be legit. You have no worries where you get bent out of shape and aggravated over console stuff.
I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say who said this to me.
What?
But a grown man. Remember the whole Scorpio M's became popular on Twitter. You guys remember that?
Yeah. How can we forget?
Yes. So I had a grown man say, "Are you with us? Are you gonna put up the M?"
Oh my god!
A grown, and I know he's grown. I'm not gonna say his name. We know who he is. But
you probably could guess it in 3 guesses.
You probably could.
Probably could.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, you are grown, and you're talking to another grown man like that. Come on, man.
Was it the same one that said to you, I would appreciate if you shared more Xbox screenshots? I see you always sharing
No, it wasn't him. But I'm like, yo, this is a grown man, like saying I need a, like, are you with us? Like, let's like Lord Carnito said in the live chat, let me throw up you gotta throw up your set. I'm like, what? Actually, what I'll do is, I'll let my dollars do the talking.
The bad thing is these are all grown men. All of them are grown ass men. Let's not just point out one guy. They're all grown men, and I've heard them say some ridiculous things on some of these podcasts, like "You got to pick a side or shut the fuck up." Those exact words. And I'm like, what is going on with these people's lives to get to this point as a gamer? What? I mean,
pick Xbox or else.
What kind of games are they playing? Because I want to stay away from that shit. Okay, if that's what Sea of Thieves does to you, I don't want no part of that.
It makes you angry.
Yo, I just want to find it funny, man. Like when people block me for like saying something that they, like joking, and they block me. I'm like, got another one. Gotta catch them all.
I had a guy put a video up on Twitter addressing me in his underwear at night.
Yeah, I remember that one.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, all day was in the chat when I was going back and forth with crap. Yeah, he was in there. He saw it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Ridiculous, man.
I don't get it, man. This shit is wild. That's why I love poking fun of these people because it's just too easy.
And here's the thing: I don't even hate the man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the stuff he does, but I don't hate the guy. He's matter of fact, I respect his hustle. Okay. He does what he does. He gets paid for it on YouTube. I don't agree with it, but hey, it's him. I don't care. That's his hustle, whatever. I don't watch it, so it doesn't bother me. But when he's going to call me out like that in chat, I was like, oh, hell no. You ain't going to say I'm not a fucking neutral gamer, and then just go on to say, well, you play the PS4 and then you go back to the Xbox, then you go back. And I'm like, Jesus, dude, that is what a neutral does.
Or somebody who's
like, you're not going to get
for gaming.
Why would you even waste your time like hating on them? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like those dudes is like they're quick to block you if you like zing them or if you say something that it's like that's such a dude. The only time I would ever block someone, and I haven't yet, is if you came at me personally. And I have not had to do that. I've only blocked people that have blocked me first, and it's usually off of something because I said something sideways about Xbox. And then I think I got one PlayStation guy blocked, and that was that JTech TV guy because he blocks everybody.
Yeah,
because he's in his feelings too.
These guys are just soft.
Yeah,
capital T.
Yeah, and let me point that out too. This is on all sides of this bullshit fucking console war.
Absolutely,
it's on all sides. It's ridiculous the stuff that I see on Twitter. I don't even get involved anymore. Really, I try to stay away from it because it's just messy. It's stupid. Like today, I did say something today when I saw somebody talking about Kofi and his crew's avatars copying VGST, and I just had to laugh at that because I was like, dude, are you really going to sit there and say, why did you copy these guys and why did they copy those? Man, we could talk about sports teams. We could talk about all kinds of stuff. It's there. Way back before BGST, before fanboys, people copy people at some point in some form or fashion. It happens. It's happened throughout throughout the entire history of time. Shit happens like that. Who cares? Like, is that a big deal? No, it's avatars. Get over it.
Yeah, because sometimes you do it like inadvertently. Like you didn't even realize somebody. The same ideas happen to pop up. It happens all the time. I mean,
the biggest puzzling question of the day, gentlemen. Who
cares?
Yeah. Bro, that's why I said. I want the life of some of these cats because it's like your life must be like just
it's golden, bro.
Flies and buttermilk or something. You know what I'm saying? Like. I got problems, man. I don't have time to sit here worried about what console you play on.
I got a mortgage.
Hey.
I got a mortgage.
Yeah,
car payment.
Hey, really, you see that guy post a screenshot of Horizon Zero Dawn? Yeah, that guy's getting blocked tomorrow, man. I swear, that fucking punk.
Yeah, you go to the room to like your wife, like, you believe what this asshole just said to me? Right. This asshole's on Twitter right now talking about how horrible Xbox is, and da. My wife would be like, you cut off.
Yeah. That's a panty dropper. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife would cut me off and tell me to grow a sack.
Oh man, I've shown my wife like some of those debates back and forth. She's like, she said, how old are these guys? I'm like, that's the funny part.
Some of these dudes ain't married or anything, So
hey, some of these dudes are half dead, bro. Seriously.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But you guys right. It's on both sides. I don't.
It is. It absolutely is.
It comes from all sides, man.
Yeah.
Nintendo fanboys are just as bad. But,
you know what? You know what's funny? You said that because remember before people were like, oh no, the Nintendo guys they just kind of stay in their lane and do their things because they had nothing to talk about with their Wii U. Right? That Switch is doing numbers. They're like, what up?
Exactly.
They out there with their chest out. You know what I mean?
Right. Another thing too. I don't know. Maybe I'm being like super melodic, like really thinking in it too deep, but I think this happens a lot with this console war because now it's safer to talk shit about consoles. Because if you would have came to my house, talking all that shit, bruh, you'd have been leaving without your teeth. You know what I mean?
I said it before. Say that to me in the frozen food section.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's safe to talk shit and really get personal and get nasty with these people because you're safe behind that keyboard, bro.
Yep.
Like you do. How many times? But back in the day when we had Babbage's and Funko Land, like late '90s, nobody cared. I mean, they probably did, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't like this.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
Because, now the worst it would get was your console doesn't have the Mortal Kombat with blood. You know, shit like that. But it wasn't like
Yep, that'd be the end of it,
bro. Yeah, it's
no. You said it 100 times, man. You talk crap about your favorite console, go back and forth, and then just go play games together.
Yeah, hey.
You know what I'm saying?
It was all fun back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Joke on each other, and then at the end of the day, we had somebody's house playing whatever console they got. So
yeah,
but this keyboard thuggery has kitty cats thinking that they're tigers.
Oh,
and the sad part is it's keyboard thuggery, but they've got a kitty cat avatar or some shit. Talking all that shit with a monkey as your avatar. Like, come on, dude. Get real.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Crazy.
That's hilarious.
Is that Naruto?
Exactly, bro. You gonna go Super Saiyan on my ass? What? Oh my god!
Shit, Naruto just blocked me.
His girl doing, huh? You know what? I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
dude,
what I mean? It's
I've
scary.
seen people talk shit with like female anime characters on their avatar, bro, and I'm just like, dude, check yourself, bro.
Oh man,
that is funny. That is some funny.
It's like, yeah, bro. It's like you wouldn't want to catch this smoke, boy. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want none of that.
Nah.
This is true.
Shit, I'm lazy. I don't want none of that either.
Nah. Hey, all day, real talk. The day I fight over a console, like a fist fight, now you're down at the police station. Like, what's this all about, guys? Well, it started because he said that my console of choice is trash. You know?
They'd beat both of your asses, and I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah, they probably would.
He said because I'm a PlayStation fan that I'm a pedophile. You know?
Oh my god, I've seen that too, man. I've seen people tweet that nonsense out.
It's just like, people stop it.
Yeah, they need to stop. Real quick, John, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the show this evening. But I do want to. I know we talked a little bit about it earlier in the podcast. We are Chicken Spaghetti couldn't make it. He's been DMing me right now on Twitter. He got caught up at work, but he does apologize for not being able to make it tonight. So Chicken's doing this holiday giveaway. He's actually selected a couple podcasts. We're honored to be one of them. And he's picked our podcast to give away a free PlayStation 4 console for the holidays. Now, in the podcast description below, you will see a link. The contest should be live now. So you should be able to click on the link and register. And so one of our lucky subscribers is going to win a free PlayStation 4 console, compliments of Chicken Spaghetti. Big shout out to Chicken. Really good dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a positive guy. He's usually in the live chat with us, just talking video games.
Yeah.
So
we're definitely excited. The contest runs through, I believe, December 18th, if I'm not mistaken, and then we'll pick a winner shortly after that. So definitely sign up for it. and the best of luck to everyone. So I'm excited to see who's going to win it. So
you too can be a neutral.
You too can be a neutral. That's right. You be a filthy neutral or a liar. I'm sorry, Jay. That shit kills me, man.
Yeah, it's
Lie.
funny.
You're a liar.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. I
Oh,
hope he
yeah.
sleeps better.
There's no exclusivity on stupidity.
Oh shit.
No,
Facts.
there's not. There's not.
Yeah.
A lot of Sony dudes tripping out there right now over the Digital Foundry thing, you know.
That's so dumb too. So
Man.
dumb. You're so dumb.
Yep,
All right,
all these
everyone.
soldiers, man. All these soldiers. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Put the
It
guns
is.
down, folks. Put the guns down. The war's
Yeah.
over.
Pick up the controllers and play some games. Because that's what it's about.
Or go out on a date.
Yeah.
That might be harder to do for some of these guys. Come on.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah, facts.
I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
Savage, man. I've seen some of them. It's not happening.
It's like, all right, I understand about your console war, and that's all you have.
Oh shit. It's the only slot you got available to you.
Oh.
Ooh,
Oh, that-
man.
So on that note, Jay and all day, man. Thanks for popping in, guys.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, man, no doubt, man. Anytime, bro.
Yeah, great having you guys on. I know all day. This is your first time, man. So welcome
Yeah.
to Brap.
Woohoo! Thanks.
And Jay, man, always a pleasure. I see your friend didn't show up. That's good.
No, I think he's kind of bored of me right now.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's
Try
good.
to follow you
Oh,
around.
you know, Jay, I said, like, I don't usually block him. I had to block that dude like 3 times, man. He was just jumping in stuff.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's.
I don't know how many accounts that guy has, man. He's like David
Like-
Copperfield. He's like, I'm back. Boom. You know?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So, B Money, man, always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So, hey guys, have a great Thanksgiving too. Big shout out to everyone in the live chat as well. Thank you guys for stopping in, listening to another episode of Brap. And again, happy holidays, or happy holidays, we're out there yet, but everyone, please have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of turkey, play a lot of video games, and do your thing. Watch football, whatever it is. Enjoy the time with family and friends. And we'll be back next week. Back to our regular schedule time at Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, real quick, gentlemen. Jay, man, do you want to plug anything? Podcast, anything like that?
Yeah. RDX podcast. You can catch that Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Dealer Gaming's channel. We do that. It's an Xbox centric podcast, but we do keep it real on that podcast.
Mhm.
And also GRG on Friday nights. I'm a part of that as well. Over on K Mega's channel. We do that too at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, and guys, let's just be good to about the subject of loot crates and loot chests out there, because they're not all bad.
That's
It-
a fact.
That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep an open mind then. Not all loot chests are bad. All right. All day. What about you, man?
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure having me on, bro. It's a dope show. I'm always working when it's on, so I always tune in. But yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at allday_. My bad. But yeah, you can find me on allday_digital, and yeah, RDX when I can make it on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. A GRG on Fridays at 8 p.m. What was it, Central, Jay? I think.
We lose Jay?
It's Eastern.
Oh, yeah.
Eastern. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Yeah, but that's it, man. Thanks.
All right. Awesome, man. We'll get a pleasure, gentlemen. And B Money, what about you, man? Tick.
Yeah, come check out Tick Podcast every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just check out the network. Our podcast will be on there on Sundays at 11. And, we just got a slew of shows on there. So if you come to YouTube / Tick_podcast, you'll find a lot of great, interesting shows. Multiverse was on there yesterday. Had a pretty dope show. So definitely come check out the network. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. So
awesome, man. I just want to give a big shout out to the Iron Lords too. Again, I know Lord Cognito was in the house.
Yeah, good dude.
Over there.
Yeah. Man, RGM.
Oh yeah, definitely check out rgm.com for all your news, reviews, updates, and such. Podcast schedule is going to start ramping up again, and I think we do bi-weekly on Saturdays, and so keep an eye out for that for sure.
Awesome, no doubt. All right, gentlemen, everyone have a great, happy Thanksgiving. Again, we'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Although you never know, there could be a Black Friday rant coming with pallets. So I want to keep an eye out for that. Which means
everybody have their pictures of pallets posted up on Twitter, man. Give me something to laugh at.
Yeah.
Oh man, if we could do it, it would be so funny to do pallet coverage like they do the hurricanes.
I got a friend that works at Walmart. I'll see what I can get.
Oh my god!
Hey, I want to see everybody's pictures on Twitter with their with their turkey dinners and their star chews.
And they're Itza-Colas. We want to see those Itza-Colas, people.
Or is Eric? What was it, Kenny? The skeeter? What was it?
The skeets. Taste the colors.
Oh, geez.
Taste the colors and your bag of it's a chip.
Oh
man.
Seriously though, we got to try to do some palette thing, like you said, with like the weather coverage, you know.
Like, yeah,
that'd be hilarious. The scene here is intense.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's so funny, man. I'm telling you, during Irma, I'm sitting here watching the coverage, and they're driving around Fort Lauderdale. Like, if you look right here, there's a tree down. Right, I'm like, I'm not gonna be out there. I don't know why you show me.
Hey Eric, when that hurricane hit Fort Lauderdale, I was telling Eric because he just got the PlayStation 2 for Destiny 2 bundle, and I told him, and I told him I was like, you should do an unboxing in the middle of the storm.
Yeah, get up on the roof.
Bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd be like, Enrique, I'm in front of the Fort Lauderdale Best Buy, and if you look back here in the background, at 2:00 this afternoon, this pallet was stacked this high. Now it's right about here, waist high. So right now it looks like Switch is the front runner to win NPD.
Oh, wait a minute, we have a dark horse here. The 3DS is sold out.
Eric, hold that thought. We're going to Jay Fonzarelli.
Oh, yes. We've got Pokemon. Ultra Sun has sold out. That is going to be the game of December. Come on.
You'll see Jay out there sitting there with the reporter with a fucking dog on the leash, man, out of Wii U.
Yeah. But the thing is, you got to do it in a weather poncho.
Yeah,
like, let me see if I can talk this. Sir.
Hey, and you got to be soaking wet too, bro.
Even though it's sunny and shit, it's just wet for no reason.
There's just a guy behind you pouring buckets of water on you.
Got somebody other with the hose. Hey, I'm actually gonna try to interview people.
Oh man,
that'd be too funny, man.
Hey, bro, I'll be a correspondent though. I'll go to like Walmart and I'll call in and shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to interview someone.
Oh man.
I can't confirm, Enrique, that they are all sold out of the Switches. They still have Xbox One X's, though. They're still here. There's 4 left. Yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah, that'd be so funny, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
maybe
man.
some live video and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my. All right, gentlemen. All right. Again, everyone, have a great evening. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.